Hello everyone, this is Garrett and this is the Great Pyramid, the first encounter. And this level is called Serious Sam, and we are now walking forward to our doom. Because honestly, this is probably one of the hardest levels in the game, but only if you're not careful. One thing you really need to keep in mind when you're playing single player is that you basically just stay in the middle for a long period of time. When you're playing multiplayer, you probably don't need to because you're probably playing on serious and then you have a fair amount of ammo for everything. But there's several things you need to keep in mind for multiplayer that won't need to be kept in mind during single player, and that is not to stay close to the doors all the time, because there are some enemies that spawn in multiplayer that don't spawn in single player. Like, well, the big red Highlander guys, and they're actually really scary. So, in single player, you don't really need to worry about that because they don't actually spawn here. But definitely keep in mind the important fact that you basically have infinite ammo while you're standing in the middle, because that bag is going to keep on respawning until the end of days. So it's definitely something to keep in mind because there's kind of a lot of enemies in this part, and the cannon is really, really good. And you have infinite ammo for it, that makes it even better. And even if you didn't have infinite ammo, the minigun with infinite ammo is really good too, so hey. Lots and lots of choices you can make here in terms of which weapon you want to use, but definitely be careful because there are a lot of enemies here, and you really don't want to die. Also keep in mind that there are health power-ups on the left and right side of the bag thing, and they respawn all the time as well. So yeah, this first part is pretty manageable, but there's a lot of enemies at the same time, which makes it considerably more difficult. So as long as you kind of just go back and forth like this, it should be okay most of the time, unless they sneak in a hit, because when you get hit by one of these guys, you're probably going to get blocked immediately, because they'll just sit in that one spot where you can't run, and then you'll just get hit by everyone, and that is really bad, as you can probably imagine. But so far it's going okay. I'm kind of happy with how this is going. I am definitely okay with this. Wouldn't have minded not being hit quite as many times, but hey, you can't have everything, and so far it seems we killed off most things before the next enemy spawn, which is fun. And I think in this wave, they're mostly just going to come from one side and then the other side, and just kind of switch between the two. And as such, you're pretty much safe just going back and forth like this, and just hitting them with the cannon, really. And every once in a while you grab the backpack. You really don't need to get it as frequently as I do, but I like to be safe. Because there might... there's not really a reason not to do it, I guess. But, sometimes it's more safe to just not get it because there's too many enemies. But at this point, definitely not something to worry about because we are just moving back and forwards. Definitely shouldn't have gotten hit there because that was a bit silly, but oh well. I'm sure we'll live through this to see another day, and it'll be glorious. We'll finally get to the Great Pyramid and see what this whole Great Pyramid malarkey is all about. But that might be a while because there's a lot of enemies in this level. Not actually sure if this is the enemy with the most levels, or the enemy with the most levels or not. The level with the most enemies or not. I've never really checked. I know that I think in the second encounter, the level with the most enemies is the last level, but yeah. There's reasons for that, and we'll get to that when we get to that game, I guess. But yeah, after killing all the clear, we'll get bulls, and the first wave, they basically get a certain number of bulls coming from one hole at a time, so basically just keep shooting around, just make sure you don't get hit, don't accidentally get stuck behind a dead bull, that's also kind of bad. But this is pretty manageable because they're always coming from one specific hole. But again, be careful because there's quite a lot of them. Man, and they really like getting their bodies stuck in front of me because that is actually really annoying. I would also mention right now that I apologize if I scream all the time during this level because I got a new headset and it has so much goodness when it comes to noise cancelling things, including my own voice, so I don't really know how loud I'm speaking half the time. Yay, experimentation! Anyway, lots and lots of bulls, but not really anything to worry about because we have an infinite ammo cannon. Though we'll get to the point where we do actually need to worry about them after a while. I'm not actually sure at which point that is, which is kind of a bothersome thing, really. But, you know, we'll see soon now. Right now, we're just gonna keep on killing bulls. Kind of surprised that this is not the game where Sam will now just say, well, that's a lot of bull. Because that would just be perfect for this moment, wouldn't it? Really would. Please don't kill me. That would be sad and dangerous. I hear bulls. Oh, there they are, and I think I missed one, which is an unpleasant situation to be in, to say the least. I'm kind of hoping I am wrong. That is my strategy. I'm hoping I'm wrong in saying I missed one. I think I didn't, actually, because I haven't seen it yet. Why are there so many bulls? Do we really need this many bulls in one tiny location? Oh my god. Just looking at to the left every once in a while just to make sure that there isn't actually any more enemies coming around, because that will be really bad right now. To the ammo box, I'm missing 8 bullets. No! And at this point there's actually a whole bunch of them coming from different holes, but they don't really have a very good vision for some reason. And this sort of works, but I wouldn't recommend for a long period of time, because after a while they're like, hey, I can see you anyway, and then this happens, and that is actually really bad. A way to do it is to just kind of stand in the right location, I guess, and I'm really good at this game, so I don't actually remember what the right location is, which is great. But this seems to be working out. As long as they don't come from behind me, that would be really bad, actually, but I guess they have to run one, like, circle, and then they start running towards you or something? I'm not sure. Usually, if you were speedrunning this, you can skip this entire part, like this entire arena. You can just rocket jump past it in the classic encounter, and you can do grenade jump in the HD remake, because there's a tiny little platform there which is conveniently high enough to jump on top of, and then jump from the explosion of a grenade on top of that, and then you can run all the way over there, and you can just skip this entire part. It's pretty exciting. Right, now that we've got bulls, we get to kill mechanoids, biomechanoids, red ones, and eventually blue ones as well. Now this part is mostly just strafing, which, well, frankly, most of the game is just strafing, but this part is especially a lot of strafing. And it helps when you don't accidentally shoot the rocket right in front of you when you don't actually see it, but I know that could be a bit tricky when you don't actually see it. But oh well. The blue ones have started spawning. They just take a little longer to spawn than the red ones. And we have an infinite ammo minigun. Yeah, this part is definitely not the hardest part in my opinion of this level. It does actually get a bit hectic in the next wave when all these robots are dead, but right now this part is just kind of shooting people the game, and I quite like that. It's nice to get a little moment of peace every once in a while. I do not know why I used the cannon for that, and I don't really know how I didn't get hit there, but whatever. I will take it because I like not getting hit randomly. And we switch back to the cannon because there's red ones again. Definitely a lot less red ones than blue ones, as you can see with your eyes, but the blue ones are still pretty damn scary sometimes because they shoot quite a lot of missiles, lasers that is. And while they don't do a ridiculous amount of damage or something, they do shoot a lot of lasers, so if you accidentally get shot by all of them, that would be kind of bad. And I wouldn't really recommend it. It's not very healthy. Kind of like what I'm doing right now. It's not very healthy at all. Well, we're doing okay. We're doing okie dokie. I'm sure... Oh, God. Alright, getting to the point where we actually need to get some health. Because I suck at this game. Come on. Oh, thank you. How far along are we? I don't actually know. Not sure if there's going to be another spawn of red ones or if these are the last robots. But I guess we'll find out soon enough because we're shooting them repeatedly. I guess there's more red ones. Woo! I really hope that hit, but I'm guessing no. But oh. He'll be back. They'll always come back after all. And just going to be lazy and use the cannon at this point because why not? Why wouldn't I use the cannon? Because I can't aim. Oh yeah. Come on. Thank you. Please keep dying for me. That is most pleasant when you do that. I love it when you die like that. It's just beautiful. Boom. Will that kill you? Probably not. No, it won't at all. I quite like the physics for the cannonball is actually different in this game than it is in the HD remake. Because in the HD remake, if you shoot at max power, it'll always do the same amount of damage regardless of what speed the ball is going at the time. And in this game, it actually depends on the speed the ball is going. So if your ball is moving slow, you will actually deal less damage, which is kind of interesting. Not sure why that isn't in the HD remake, but there you go. That's what I question about a lot of things in the HD remake. Oh god, what am I doing? This could be really bad, actually. This could... Yeah, that was definitely really bad. I'm gonna say that was really, really bad. Fortunately, this quick save happened just before I did anything, so that's great. Actually, I'm kind of curious, because there's something I haven't tried. Also, something I should point out, in the HD remake, there are secrets in this level. In the original version, there are not. So, yeah. Keep that in mind. Don't try to look for any, because there are no secrets in this level at all. And I think in the HD remake, the secrets are like in the middle holes, if I remember correctly. This looks really well, actually. I should have done this before. I mean, it's kind of tedious that you have to get out of the hole in the end, I guess, but this is a lot safer than trying to be in the middle and just sticking to the bullet thingy. Because at this point, we don't really need the bullets, because this is the last wave in this area before we can move on to the next part, which is good. And I think that was the last one. I don't hear anymore, but I'm loading. I don't hear any more enemies. The music is really exciting. Come on, guys. Okay, there we go. Didn't know why it took so long for the door to open. I guess the door is on a timer or something. I don't know. And I'm not really sure why I'm waiting for this ammo, because there's ammo right there in a big red backpack, and that is awesome. And